males, children of all ages, non-binaries, and transgenders. This is the Ultra Heelz Wrestling Podcast, live from Bravery Studios, now in Garfield, New Jersey. I am Darth Inside, the Dark Side Saver, always and forever on his worst behavior. Mr. DM, find me your mama's DMs. Why? Because I'm trying to get a mama baby, nobody can stop me. And on the phone, as always, the OG, the triple OG of the Ultra Heelz that talks all the shit that can now be found on stereo.
Oh, yes. It's your boy, Alex the motherfucking Hill, a.k.a. the Stan Lee of podcasting, also known as the leader of the Going Forever, Fuck the This Man, and now Bruce Prichard group, because I got to ask somebody else when niggas get at it. Also known as the man if you're a girl to clip a crossfade, have a run to a crossfade, and you can find that on my OnlyFans, because we ain't getting banned.
Word. And back on the boards, the only man that can be mentioned in the same breath is the great Billy Graham. I didn't forget. The Superstar Sal.
Superstar Sal.
Been a long time. What's up, guys?
Yeah, man, you've been missing in action. I thought we had to put your head on a milk carton too, trying to figure out where the hell you was at.
Yeah, life has been a roller coaster, and it seems to happen middle to the end of the week for the last month. So.
Did you talk to Kelvin? I talked to Kelvin like last week for his birthday.
Oh no, I did not.
Yeah, his birthday was like 2 days ago. Because he's a Virgo like I am. We the best. We the best. And nobody can stop us.
So that was a fucking lie.
Scorpios all day, dog.
I have to disagree. Actually, I don't think I'm for that close with any Scorpios.
My wife is a fucking Scorpio, so yeah, my son is right on the cusp of a Scorpio.
Because my girl's a Libra, my stepdaughter's a Leo, my homegirl's a Sag, my other homegirl's a Sag. 3 of my homies from high schools are Virgos, because they all have they only have birthdays like in a row. One is August 28th, 29th, and 30th. There's three in a row.
Shit, that's my mom, my 2 uncles, born July 29th, 30th, and 31st, all Leos.
My one homie from high school is a Taurus, and I think that covers all the people that I talk to on a regular basis.
I had a Taurus friend once, but he don't move no more.
Wait, what are you? I forgot. What are you, Aries?
Pisces.
Pisces, okay.
I'm a Pisces. Yep, I'm a Pisces. Smooch is an Aquarius. Wife is a Scorpio. Girlfriend is a Leo. Son is a Scorpio. Hell, even Smooches is an Aquarius.
Yeah. The more you know. All right, we're going to kick off this week's episode with the fantasy booking. That way we have free reign to talk about All Out and whatnot later in the show. Because a lot of hype going into this weekend.
Hype ain't the word.
Yeah, hype doesn't even describe what's may or may not happen this weekend. If only my Instagram will work. Okay, there it goes. It's starting to work. All right, so this past week we had my second episode of Warzone because I don't have a pay-per-view this month. So I kicked off the show with a match from my open weight Pure Rules division. And it was Bryan Danielson versus Adam Cole, baby. You know, the 2 people that might show up this weekend.
Big Mike.
So Daniel Bryan won in a clean, decisive finish over Adam Cole. That was 69% to 31%.
Didn't they work together on SmackDown a couple years ago?
Yeah, that the Saudi Arabia trip that went bad.
Oh yes, and then they had to get the NXT guys.
So because Daniel Bryan wasn't going because he refused to go to Saudi, so he was there, and then they, like you said, they brought all the NXT guys, and the main event was Daniel Bryan and Adam Cole, which was a fucking banger ass match.
Now imagine what they could do without like 77 people with their hands in it.
Yeah, and then the following week
I kind of want to see it over now.
The following week was what? It was Adam Cole and AJ, because for some reason they just brought the NXT people back.
Oh, that's when they started doing what, the Undisputed Era and the OG Club or whatever.
Yeah. But that was a banger match too, just out of nowhere, AJ and Adam Cole. And then we had Michael Cole go looking for Paul Heyman backstage, because they wanted to find out if Brock Lesnar is going to get his title match or not. But Paul Heyman said that GM Shane McMahon is not answering his calls, and quote, "Things will happen if things don't change." So says Paul Heyman. Next up, we had a grudge match, a 6-woman tag team grudge match. The two matches last week that went awry was Tenelle Dashwood versus Charlotte. We had a screwy finish, and the Iconics versus Jordynne Grace and Rachel Ellering went awry. So we did it Teddy Long style. We're gonna have a tag team match, player. So it was Tenelle Dashwood and the Iconics. Classic. Team Australia versus Charlotte, Jordynne, and Rachel. And to our surprise, the Australians have won clean in the middle of the ring. Yes. Yes, they won clean in the middle of the ring. Next up, we had a tag team match. We had New Day, represented by Big E and Kofi, against SCU, represented by Kazarian and Sky, and the crowd was overwhelmingly blown away by the New Day. They won 69-31. Next up, GM Shane McMahon came out. He responded to Paul Heyman. Shane has decided that Brock Lesnar will not be given a championship match or a spot in the tournament. He must earn it. When he can prove he will show up to work like everyone else, something can be worked out.
What that workout can be.
We'll find out. Next up, another match in the open weight Pure Rules division. Damian Priest squashed Alberto El Patron 89-11. Yeah, quite the squash. Didn't see that one coming.
That wasn't even a squash. That was a you got me fucked up times 2. Mr. Man's in the back.
He probably showed up a little. Del Rio probably showed up. On the tequila. He probably had the bottle in hand. Jeff Hardy at
Jeff Hardy work performance in TNA.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's still something I go back to every once in a while on YouTube and go watch.
Yeah. Next up, match 5 for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship tournament. Tag team style. You work with your partner. If you and your partner can win the tournament, you both get a shot at the gold. So we had Finn Balor versus Randy Orton against Nick Aldis and W. Morrissey, a.k.a. Big Cass, a.k.a. Cass XL. This match didn't even make it past, the bell. RKO out of nowhere on Big Cass. 1, 2, 3, match over. Because that was 100-0 voting there.
You know what's funny? I think I voted on that one.
Yeah.
I think I voted that outcome. So this Randy Orton. Why the hell not?
Next up, Renee Young. She was in the ring looking lovely. She calls out the Usos. She asked, why did they attack FTR last week following the main event? The Usos, very simple answer. It's not paranoia. It's the Usos. And they left. And our main event for one of the number 1 contenders in the women's division, we had a gauntlet match with Asuka, Serena Deeb, Bayley, Mickie James, and Nyla Rose. And the winner, by the only person that voted, because I didn't realize that Instagram voting only allowed up to 4 people in the options. I thought it allowed up to 6. So I had to do the type in ballot. Only one person decided to type in an answer. So Asuka is the winner.
Oh, damn.
there was a vote, so Asuka's the winner.
Damn.
So moving forward in the tournament for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, last week we had AJ and Okada defeat Darby Allin and Adam Page. Next week they will be taking on Finn Balor and Randy Orton, who won this week. So the winner of that match, those two people will then face each other for the championship at my pay-per-view, which is, I forgot what my September pay-per-view is. Hold on. Let me flip back a couple pages. Unforgiven. All right. Do you have your show for this week ready to go? The next
no.
episode of Dragon Force.
No, I was going to have it, but due to the condition of what happened in New Jersey, I was going to postpone that to be the next following week. Because don't forget, some of our wrestlers do live in New Jersey.
Ah.
Big pop.
Big pop, yes.
It is weird too, because the majority of my roster, Indy got all of from damn near New Jersey, New York, and situation happens. So
Oh yeah, you got Jay Lethal and fucking who else you got?
I got Jay Lethal,
Danny Mav.
A good majority of my good guys, Keith Lee, all the motherfuckers. They realize with them all fucking at home trying to fix stuff. So I let this show rock, and I was like, I will let them rock. I'll let them get their matches next week. I had it, but then once the storm happened, I was like, if this is real, my wrestlers would be fucked right now. So I'm gonna have to deal with the real world situation.
Yeah, so we're gonna double book next week. I'll have my next show, and we'll do your show at the same time.
Yeah.
All right, so let's cover some silly stuff first. How about that fucking barn burner between Charlotte and Nia Jax?
Oh, that was fun
First
to
of all,
watch.
that boy, let me tell you, I was on the edge of my seat. I was like, I don't know if this is a real or fake, but this shit is exciting.
Listen, wrestling needs to be like that more often.
I would even call it like botching. They just couldn't agree on anything.
They were just shooting on each other a little bit of a shoot there.
Bruh.
I wouldn't even go that far. I say they wouldn't agree.
Bro.
Charlotte was trying to call spots, Nia was trying to call spots, and they just couldn't agree.
Did you see Charlotte slap her and then Nia Jax's response?
Her two-piece?
That was
Two-piece with a biscuit?
Those were both meant with some like, hey, what the fuck?
That was malice. Go ahead, Alex.
Boy, for them to be friends, boy, it looked like enemies that night. I was like, oh shit. Especially when Nia picked Charlotte up and gave her that half tone of a suplex bullshit on her head.
Now,
I was like, oh, Jesus Lord, what is happening here?
Here was the thing. It wasn't that bad because Charlotte took a clean bump out of it. Nia just didn't fall with it. That's all that went wrong. Because if you think when Randy Orton does the suplex to everybody on the guardrail, it's the same move. But because it's on the guardrail, he can't fall to the floor. Nia Jax did the same move, but it was in the ring.
But the one thing about it is, it went by so fast, it looked it so much worse. But when they slowed it down, it looked as safe as hell. But they didn't. I swear, if they never showed that replay, it would have just looked it worse, and it just made it more. And I was like, I wonder who's gonna get in trouble for this. Is it gonna be Charlotte or Nia? Because they both seem like they both are in the wrong.
Yeah, and then
but it was the most talked about thing on Raw that whole night.
Mm-hmm. And then there was a point where Nia was just standing there, and Charlotte runs off the ropes and jumps on her back, waiting for the Samoan drop. And then the finish was awkward. It was like a half powerbomb, half choke slam, and she just won like that. I was like, what the fuck?
I was like, yo, no offense. I don't know how the outcome of this match was, but I need a rematch, and I need the same kind of energy again. Fuck this.
Yeah, they're probably going to have a rematch at Extreme Rules.
I feel it coming. Listen what the matches are for Extreme Rules.
Well, we still got 3 weeks, so.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. What else do we have this week? NWA 73, and also Empower was this past weekend because that was what one was Saturday, one was Sunday, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. At Empower, Awesome Kong has retired.
Yeah, I seen that.
And Gail Kim coming out.
Already retired.
Yeah, and Gail Kim coming out made me think that Awesome Kong is really underrated with her in terms of her influence on women's wrestling.
Bro, she was legit. I mean, I still like kind of get like a what if that WWE run would have worked out.
Yeah, what if it would have worked?
Because like she was right before where like really started to get good, but like she could have been like a real like she was. I remember she came out and beating up the Bellas.
Yeah,
and then that was it.
But that's just it. I don't know if it would have worked with her in WWE because you were still on the tail end of the swimsuit model John Laurinaitis roster of women. It was you were just starting to get the Pages and that next group that could actually wrestle, and AJ Lee and whatnot.
Yeah, we were. But the only thing about it was she was the only wrestler that was on Netflix for a wrestling show that was considered an actor, and all the divas was just divas.
Yeah, that's true.
I would have enjoyed her being there because she would have had some legitimacy that she's not on Total Divas, she's not on Total Bellas. She is on a Netflix show about wrestling, and she's still the hardest hitting thing on that show. So for her to be on here, it still makes sense. And I kind of wanted to see her do that run. Like, even if they didn't give her a title run, she was going to be the most dominant thing there. Like, I'd like to see her versus Nia Jax. Oh my God, I feel like that'd have been like that'd have been like Bray Wyatt trying to fight fucking Undertaker. Like, it'd just been two big ass women fighting each other, and I would have enjoyed all of that.
Technically, we got it already because we had Awesome Kong versus Nyla Rose at what was the first All Out? I think it was. Or was it Full Gear?
No, I don't think they ever worked one-on-one.
They never worked one-on-one?
I know Kong came out and beat up like
that was a triple threat.
Yeah, with Kylie Ray.
Yeah, that's right. Because freaking
and I think Britt Baker was involved in that.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. That's right. I forgot it was a tag.
But it was still a good match. But you know, she was already in WWE around some women that could have been something good, and they just like let it go. And I was like, damn, y'all missed a good opportunity with her.
Also, Deonna Purrazzo dominating win over who was that? That was I forgot who he had a match against.
Was it Gail Kim?
Was it Gail Kim?
No,
she didn't have a match.
No.
Was it Mickey?
No, Mickey didn't have a match either.
Melina?
Yeah, Melina. There we go. Yeah, Deonna Purrazzo laid it down. There we go. And Camille versus Layla Hirsch. It was what it was.
I didn't even see it. How'd it go?
It was what it was.
Give me some. Give me a breakdown.
It wasn't terrible. It's just Camille's not the greatest wrestler. Let's be real. She's just big.
She's gigantic.
Yeah, she's a little bigger than Charlotte. She's like an inch taller, but she's got more muscle on her.
I thought you were gonna say she's a little bigger than Hirsch.
No, she's a lot bigger than Hirsch. Because Layla Hirsch is what, like 4'11"?
I've met her a couple times, and she's a small human being, but she can get it in.
Yeah, for her size. Yeah, because she did UFC, right?
I don't know, but I know she has like that shooter vibe to her.
Yeah, she did some sort of MMA at one point. It was what it was. So, you know, big, small, but you know, not the best workers in the ring. It was what it was. It's not something I'm going to shit on.
Word. And
then over on the main show, Nick Aldis's 1,043-day title reign has come to an end.
Bruh,
3.5 years.
That was goddamn long.
3.5 years.
Yeah, last time he beat Cody, right?
And before he was a champion before Cody, he lost to Cody, and that reign was like almost a year at that time. It was like 340 days.
So wait, who won the belt?
Trevor Murdoch.
Trevor Murdoch.
Yeah.
He's like right up the NWA's alley.
Yeah. He's real old school, Southern, you know.
He fits them so well. Like if you say NWA 2021, Trevor Murdoch is the first person you better think of.
Yeah. I was a little surprised that they let him be the one to win. But like you say, he fits the mold. So
what are they going to do with Nick Aldis now that he's no longer champion?
It seems as if he's just going to be part-time because he's still like doing ambassador work and whatnot.
I'd like to see him get a run in AEW. You know, just like doesn't have to be a main event run or anything. See how it does, but I think but then again, AEW's getting really crowded, so.
What if he went to Impact and he beat Christian?
I'd be okay with that.
I'll be okay with that. At this point right now, the way the wrestling field, like the way the wrestling field is now with AEW, Impact, and WWE, NXT, and all of them, I'm cool with Nick Aldis going to AEW, but I would be more excited if he went to Impact. Hell, we're getting 2 WWE people going to Impact that we already know of now.
Who's that?
Braun Strowman and Buddy Matthews. They're not going to AEW. They're going to Impact.
Interesting.
And
that is interesting.
Like,
I would have swore Buddy was going to AEW.
AEW's getting way too crowded, man.
I know.
I could have sworn he was going there too, but then after somebody was talking to somebody Impact, and it was like, Impact is starting to have a good amount of wrestlers, with this so-called open door policy with AEW and New Japan, and it was like, who are you most excited for to be there? He's like, I'm excited for a lot of people, but Braun and Matthew are the 2 that I'm hoping to see in the ring do something with somebody. And I was like, he didn't say he was hoping they'd come there. He was hoping to see them in the ring fight somebody soon. And I was like, dude, that mean that they're coming? And then people online was like, from talks in the back, they're going to Impact Wrestling. They're not going to AEW. I was like, that's strange, but at the same time, it kind of seems right, but there's already too many WWE people in AEW right now.
I don't even think it's just WWE people. I think it's just people in general. And I think if I was a guy that, maybe I want to get to AEW or something, I think Impact is a good stop, because unless you're going to guarantee me that I'm going to get put on top or any kind of position, it's a lot. It's getting really clogged there.
And I feel like it's going to come to a point where every episode of Dynamite is going to be Omega and the Bucks and whoever just came in from WWE. That's what the card is going to look like. That's what it looks like now.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's okay. I don't mind it, because in a lot of ways it seems like what they're doing is like presenting these guys how we wish WWE would have presented them 3-4 years ago. And there's a lot of mix of like, some good, like, Paige, Cage, Brian Cage, Will Hobbs, the Darby Allin, MJF. Like, there's like a good mix of their guys, so to speak.
Yeah, because
I don't really see Braun Strowman going there. That just be another big guy that we don't need over there. We already got enough big guys at AEW. We don't have enough at Impact.
I think he'll get there eventually, but yeah, I think Impact is a good stop.
I feel like with Matthew and Braun Strowman, if they go to Impact, they're going to be part of that little so-called forbidden door and be able to go to AEW without having to really be a part of AEW, so they don't fill up their roster.
Especially Buddy Matthews, because based on the vignette, something has to happen with him and Aleister Black. Whether they team up, whether it's a feud, something has to happen between the 2 of them.
Yes, and I wanted to so bad, because they need to finish their little story. See how Aleister Black kept his character? I need Buddy Murphy to keep. And
he's still selling the eye. I love the fact that he's still selling the eye.
I love it. It's one of my favorite things.
And every match that he wins, that eye and around that eye gets darker and whiter as more and more happens.
Long-term storytelling
across multiple companies.
Yes.
Oh, man. What else we have?
R.I.P. Daphne.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yep.
Man, so we lost Ashley, Daphne, and what's that damn girl from Stardom?
Hannah?
Asian girl.
It was Hannah.
Yeah.
Right?
We lost all 3 of them to basically depression and suicide. And it sucks. Like, it sucks bad, especially with Daphne. I didn't know Daphne had that many people that she worked with. I didn't know she worked with Amber Moon and Mia Yim when they all first started. I didn't know she was one of the people there that was helping them train to become wrestlers. So she was like a big influence of both of them. And I know both of them was hurt real bad when they found out.
She had a big influence, it seems, on a lot of the women that came up, 5-10 years ago, just because she was probably, toying around on the indies.
Right.
And she seems, all accounts, she seems like a very open person. So she was going up to these people, giving them advice. So
right. It was almost like the Brody Lee love she got.
Yeah, it was. You haven't heard. I haven't heard. Even before this, never really heard anybody say anything negative about her.
Yeah. And still to this day, anytime you say Brody Lee, it's nothing but love from everybody in every company. Because who was I just listening to? Oh, the New Day. They were talking about just some random some random trip that they took outside of wrestling. They all went to, they just took a trip to Japan together for like a week.
Wasn't it like a Mario Kart world or something like that?
Yeah. And Brody brought his son, and now they're like, oh, it's to see his son on TV is like the biggest thing to them.
I know that CM Punk had a sit-down interview talking.
On ESPN, yeah.
Yeah, and I know the question I asked him was, why did he choose AEW over WWE? And he literally said, it's a whole bunch of young guys that want to learn from the older generation that are willing to listen and willing to better themselves in wrestling. So it makes a lot of sense. But at the same time, it's like, everybody at AEW knew Brody Lee was sick, but they kept that shit under wraps all the way down to the very end. Not like WWE where, somebody gets sick, they got to announce it. He said, so everybody knew, and he said he loved the fact they kept it so tight-lipped that nobody said anything about it. And he was like, and that's what made me want to go there, because that's more of a family than a business at this point.
My only objection to that statement is Keith Lee. The whole time we just speculated Keith Lee was being kept off of TV because of the legal battle, which did happen, but it was because he was sick.
I heard something. I heard something that they were considering pushing him now as a monster heel.
Yeah.
And I kind of don't. I'm cool with it, but at the same time, I don't want to see him be a heel. I like the way Keith Lee's always been. Like, I like him as he is, and I need them to just stop playing around, let this man do what he normally does, instead of trying to make him into in my eyes, another Mark Henry. I don't want to see him be that at this point.
I can't see him as a monster heel.
He's just too nice of a guy.
I can't.
I could see him as like a cocky heel. I can't see him as a monster heel.
Now, I can see him being himself. I can see him being himself with his, the way he talks, and that makes him a heel. But I can't see him fully being a full heel.
I would say he have to be very, very cynical. Like he thinks he's a good guy, but just he says everything he says has an evil intent.
Like Kurt Angle when he first came, like he was just so stupid that he was getting booed, but he thought he should be a good guy.
Yeah.
You do not boo an Olympic gold medalist.
Now, before we go too far, since you've been away for a couple weeks, what do you think about Adam Cole? Where is he going?
One hand, I want to see him go to AEW because I think they would treat him as he probably for his talent rather than his size.
My argument is he's basically the third Young Buck. So,
but at the same time, AEW is, like I said before, getting really, really crowded, and not just crowded; it's getting crowded with top guys. And I mean, if they're cool with sitting on the sidelines every few weeks for whatever reason, like cool. But then you got to look at your pay-per-views and, where's the mid-card talent like going to get over? Where are they going to get the opportunity? Like Sammy Guevara, right? He was one of your hottest acts. Where's he been? He's been pushed to the side because there's a lot of things going on. Coming out of Double or Nothing, you would have swore that he was going to be the next thing because he had that momentum.
But Darby ended up taking off.
Right, but still, it's just like, where is that momentum gone? And I think it's partly because there's just so many people and there's no space for him right now. So he's not really doing anything.
And then the next name to come up, Wyndham Rotunda. Where's he going?
Yeah, I could see him going to AEW, but he's also one of those characters where he doesn't have to be on TV every week. He's an attraction. So you know what? He might benefit from AEW because like a Malachi Black or somebody like, you could kind of keep him off for a couple weeks, maybe have like a little vignette or a promo. And but I think he would thrive in that situation because the Fiend character, for instance, right? Even any
something
kind of,
close to it because he doesn't own the Fiend,
right? Anything like kind of like in the macabre is better suited for spurts rather than consistent.
And I think that's where WWE overdid the Fiend.
Yeah, because he was on TV every week.
Yeah,
and then he starts losing.
I'm not gonna lie. Bray Wyatt with the Fire Funhouse was a great thing just for the week, just so he didn't have to wrestle, just so he was still around. When the Fiend came out to wrestle, it was the best thing for them because it made him an attraction. But when you had Bray Wyatt doing the Fire Funhouse and then the Fiend comes out immediately right after that, I'm like, bro, you're killing both of these characters at once with too much of being on TV at this point.
Right, and it's like, I think the Fiend, as much as I like the Fiend, the second he started that first match with Finn Balor at SummerSlam when he came out, immediately his value went down to me. I don't know why. It just felt like, all right, this is cool, but You know, like he's better suited once in a while, and that's just my opinion. I think he's more than a capable professional wrestler, and I think he'll do great, you know, with the handcuffs off. However, the character to me is just.
I also felt like the way they presented the Fiend in the ring didn't lend itself to a good match.
No, of course not. Same thing what they do with like Kane and stuff, where it's like he's a big guy that is dark.
Early Kane was good because they let him wrestle. I want to say 2011, somewhere in that neighborhood, pre Team Hell No. That's where Kane got weird.
But if you look at his early stuff, like when he first came on as Kane, he was Michael Myers. He didn't do anything. Look at his match with The Undertaker. As much as I enjoyed it, as much as I enjoyed it, they didn't do anything. They just copied each other's moves, but they told a good story, so it was fun.
Yeah.
And they had a really good storyline going into it, so it made it that much better.
I guess I'm thinking post Paul Bearer.
Yeah, you know what?
That's when he started to open up.
Well, yeah, like yes, like when he like started like, you know, when he kind of like took the
I'm guessing the big red machine is what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
of.
like when half his mask came off, kind of thing, and he started talking and stuff. He started working a little bit more and like selling and things like that. He wasn't selling when he was originally came out.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say right now.
I got you.
I'm gonna say right now, if Rotunda gets signed with AEW, I want him to be the for real forbidden door. I want him to show up at other places when he sees fit to try to make his character more known everywhere else without having to diminish his new character as much as WWE try to do it. Like, so if he gets signed with AEW, I would love to see his new version of a Fiend there, but not all the time. And if he doesn't show up there, show up on Impact and fuck with somebody.
I think he would thrive in New Japan.
Just be like I'm saying, like I want to see him go anywhere and just be that. I want him to be like how the Undertaker was when he played mind games. I want Rotunda to be the mind game guy of wrestling to go between three different kind of wrestling: New Japan, AEW, and Impact. I just want him to be that guy that if something happens or I want to fight somebody I never fought before, he's the guy that shows up and beats you, and then he doesn't be seen for a while.
Now that you say that, because he has multiple characters, he can be the cult leader, he can be the Mr. Rogers, he can be the whatever the evolution of the Fiend is. Every time he shows up in a different place, he's a different version of himself. You never see the same Rotunda twice.
That'd be kind of cool, actually. Especially with like New Japan,
like,
Impact, and AEW working together. Yeah. That would be interesting.
It'd be like, what do you call it? It'd be like how they had with Abyss when he so-called became his brother.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you didn't see Abyss for a good minute. And then when Abyss showed up, you didn't see him. But then he would show up in the back like, did you see him? I just missed him. I just got here. It would be good like that for Rotunda to do that, because that gives him more time to not really wrestle and to be home with his wife and his kids. Because apparently
she's pregnant again. That makes two.
Like, this man pull-out game is non-reliable. It's just bad.
I think he's got two with his first wife also.
Yep, he's up to 4, possibly a 5. Because if it's JoJo, she gotta have JoJo. Like, I thought JoJo was full black. I didn't know JoJo was part Spanish. Yeah. So I feel like she's gonna be like Matt Hardy's wife, and they're just gonna have a litter.
Oh yeah. They're on what 4? Matt Hardy and Rebby.
Isn't she pregnant again?
Yeah, they're on 4.
She's pregnant again after the one that she just had.
Pretty sure.
After the girl. What?
Yes. Yeah, boy, Matt Hardy in that damn thing. He's Columbine the hell out of her, bro. He's shooting the shit up. Like she's pregnant. Like if you go to her Instagram page and look at it, bro, she is huge. Like I don't know when she got pregnant again, but it's like she had to get pregnant probably a couple of months right after she had the last son she had.
Because I know she just had a girl. I see the girl on Instagram all the time, but I didn't notice she was pregnant again. Because she's got the 3 boys. There's the baby girl, and she's pregnant. Jesus Christ, Matt Hardy is busy.
Bruh, that's why they're gonna be at AEW all the damn time. He read the house clapping cheeks.
All right,
you know, compound bursting down the Hardy compound.
You know what we forgot to talk about? The new NXT run by Bruce Prichard and Vince McMahon. Coming soon.
Dark days are coming. Somebody on Twitter that's talks about wrestling news, posted that and said and put the song "Hello Darkness,
My
my old
old
friend."
friend.
I said, "Oh God!" Like I don't even like the new NXT logo. I don't even care for
I
it.
don't have a problem with the logo. I'm fine with the
No,
logo.
no, I don't. No, I don't care for the graphics or how they try to introduce it with that music. I was like, I don't like this. I don't like the way this is. Like NXT was supposed to be different. It was supposed to be solid, legit wrestling with real stories. No gimmicks, no bullshit. And now you giving it color and life. I feel like you about to just literally give these guys the most redundant storylines you can give them, like they're the main roster, and push people that probably ain't even ready yet.
I kind of feel like the brightness of it now is kind of needed. It seemed so dark and dungy for so long. And I think that's one of the reasons why they struggled with the Wednesday Night Wars, because look at the two different products. Even when AEW was in Jacksonville, it just seemed like a bigger deal, better production, more bright.
I wouldn't say better production. I still think WWE is better produced. It's just the ambiance of the room, because you're in a small little arena that's blacked out.
Well, that's part
except for the ring, and then AEW is just bright.
That's part of the production, though. It just seems like.
But
I
wouldn't call it bad production. I just think it's maybe a bad production choice.
That's what I mean. I don't think
okay.
WWE's bad at it. I just think AEW came across as big time comparatively.
Okay, I got you.
And I think,
Well,
I'm interested at the very least to see what happens. At the very least, I'm interested, and I'll give it a shot.
What's going to end up happening with NXT right now is their contract with where they're at now is what's that in Florida?
The Capitol Wrestling Center.
Yeah, their contract's coming up, so they might not be there any much longer.
Oh no, you're talking about Full Sail. The Full Sail they already canceled.
Sail.
They already canceled that deal. They said fuck Full Sail. They're just going to stay in the Performance Center full time now.
It still seems weird because, like, I don't know. I like the NXT the way it was. I just needed, like, I don't need more time. I just need other people to wrestle like they was doing. And now that you hiring new people and you let go of people you just had on TV not even a month ago, it's like I'm cool with it, but at the same time, I just don't want to see Vince put his hand into it. I don't want to see him touch it.
Yeah. Now, if you did notice on this week's episode of NXT, there was a lot of no-name people. Basically, every match had a no-name person in it. So that's them starting to use the people that have just been there, not being shown on TV, while we got Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa and Finn Balor every week.
But
that's a positive, though, if you ask me.
Look, but you also got to remember when NXT first started and they was on the WWE Network before they went to the Peacock Network. Remember, they always had new wrestlers show up, but all the wrestlers became household names, and as soon as they became household names, Vince snatched them up immediately. And I was like, okay, the household name Triple H have up there all the time was people Vince would never bring up. And I was like, okay, great. That means Vince will have to put a hand in it. But as soon as you start putting new talent out there and Vince starts seeing them, he's already thinking of new gimmicks, new music, and shit that he could have them not do on the main roster to just be upset. Because you go from NXT where you can wrestle and show your talent to going to the main roster and becoming like Curlic Alexander or anybody else from NXT that was great to doing nothing in squash matches.
Mm-hmm.
Like I understand WWE is the top all be all. That's what you want to be. But I want to be there to wrestle. I want to be there to be in the Hall of Fame. I don't want to be there to be a jobber and to lose to other people. Or come out like Karrion Kross with Mad Max BSM leather fucking helmet on and look stupid as hell.
When Tyler Breeze got let go, he did an interview with I think it was Chris Van Vliet. He said one of the best pieces of advice he got was from Dolph Ziggler. He said something to the effect of, when you go to WWE, yes, it's the top of the mountain in terms of wrestling industry, but there's two outlooks you have to have. It's either I've made it to the biggest place ever, but I've signed a contract to be here. I'm on the team. Either they can use me or they can't, but I'm on the team.
And that's true. Because, like, okay, let's put it like this. How many people is on the main roster now that came from NXT?
It's like 90% now. There's very few people that didn't go through the NXT system now.
Yeah, and how many of them are the top stars?
About 90%. I think it's a pretty even ratio because the people that didn't go through NXT that are on top are Lashley, Orton, and AJ Styles. Everybody else has been through NXT.
Yeah. Now, once they leave NXT and they would go there and they become top stars, they're top stars. But then you get like Alexander, you get Mustafa Ali, the way he's going now. You get, Sami Zayn, you get Kevin Owens. These guys they're top stars too to people's eyes. But WWE don't really treat them like that. They just treat them as workhorses because they know they can work. But some of these guys deserve to be top stars in their own right on the main roster. Like, they deserve to have their own shirts and everything. Like, Kevin Owens got his own shirts, everything got his own shirts. Chris Alexander still don't have his own T-shirt. His shirt has always been the 205 shirt they made for him that one time in every color under the rainbow like John Cena, and then the Hurt Business, and then nothing again.
Okay, I found the quote from Tyler Breeze. I hate when people are like, I was never given an opportunity. I was never given a chance. I was held down. That's a whole separate conversation, but that's such an excuse of you don't know what you signed up for. We signed a piece of paper for a certain amount of money to sit on the bench and get used if we get used. If they choose not to use you, it doesn't mean you should go on social media and bitch and complain that I'm getting held down. No. If you're okay with that, then quit your job. If you're not okay with that, then quit your job.
Oh, so in other words, you want them to be like that white boy that quit his $100,000 job to go try to talk to Logan Paul about a job opportunity, and Logan Paul told that nigga no.
I mean, I think I understand what he's saying in the sense of, like, at the end of the day, you sign a piece of paper, a contract
that guarantees nothing other than a paycheck
and to get paid and nothing.
That's it. They guarantee you the money.
And
that's it.
And it's not your company. And if you feel that strongly, go open a company and push yourself.
That's basically what he's
saying. You know what I mean? And I get that. But I also understand if somebody knows that they could, produce more than what they, been given the opportunity.
Naturally, you want to do more because you believe in yourself.
Right. And you just want to be out there and you want to perform.
So, like, he's just trying to say there's a fine line between the two. Know what you're getting into, but you believe in yourself at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's get to our main event. Our main event will be, obviously, All Out this coming weekend.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm really excited about this.
Yeah.
I am.
I'm pumped.
I am hell-bent on this shit. Like, I'm for the last few shows, I am sold on this. And then also come to find out that the CM Punk ice cream bars,
they're now selling them
at both shows in Chicago. That's the only way you're getting it. You have to be in Chicago to get it.
Yeah. Because it's a local ice cream place. They don't really distribute outside of like that area in Illinois. It's maybe like a 20-mile radius that they sell to.
Right. This is the biggest business they've ever had.
Yeah. They probably shut down for the last 2 weeks just to make enough ice cream bars.
Shit, what you call a shutdown for a week and a day? Pro Wrestling Tees?
Oh yeah. They just been making CM Punk t-shirts.
They sold so many CM Punk t-shirts they couldn't keep up with orders, so they had to shut down just to kind of finish the orders.
Yeah. Yep.
It's insane.
Yep.
I still want one of those shirts.
Yep.
So do I.
I do too.
Just not the one that says I was there because I was not there.
Oh, I also missed out on the up down Uno cards. I'm pissed that I missed that because I was busy that Wednesday when the episode launched. Because the cards went live on the WWE shop right after the episode on Up Down, and there was only, I didn't realize it was limited. There was only 2,500 sets available, so I missed out on the Up Down Uno cards.
I mean, if they sold, depending on how they sold or how quick, they'll probably make more.
Yeah, they were going within a day, so they'll probably put out another set then.
Yeah, that reminds me. Then you said something about the Uno card. So apparently, see how Bray Wyatt doesn't work for WWE that we know of or do. We don't know how WWE works with bringing people back or lying saying they fired. WWE is dropping a Christmas version of the Fiend Funko Pop.
Oh yeah. Still. Yep. They're still selling. They own the character. They can put it out if they want to. That's what it comes down to.
I find that the most fun thing. I really feel like if you come up with a character, you
What's
spend
up, Valdor?
money on the mask. like I feel like you come with a character, you spend money on the mask, you do all of this to make this character. I feel like secretly on the side, you should be having a lawyer to make sure you keep that shit because you put in more time and effort than they did, and they just basically take it from you at this point.
Well, that's like Sin Cara. They now own the Sin Cara mask.
I'm sure Bray Wyatt's going to get a piece of that, though. It's his likeness.
That's funny. Look, that's funny. They own the mask. Look. I find it funny that they own the copyright to the mask, but the original Sin Cara has
Mystico
T-shirts with that. Yeah, Mystico has the original. He has T-shirts new with the old Sin Cara mask, and then the new Sin Cara is still walking around with the Sin Cara mask on.
It's like the old Doink.
That's actually a funny thing that Unico, who was the second Sin Cara, he's now left WWE, and he's still using the Sin Cara gimmick himself. It's fucking insane.
Doink the Clown, bro. Doink the Clown set the blueprint. There was 77 million Doinks walking this earth.
Mm-hmm. All right, back to All Out. We strayed a little bit. Obviously, our main event, Kenny Omega, Christian Cage.
Whoa. That is definitely not the main event.
Well, we know what the main event is, but I don't think Kenny's going to let himself not be on last.
No, Punk, you cannot put anybody on after Punk this particular show. Kenny Omega and Christian Cage is a mid-card. Let me explain. If you're putting this together, you're Tony Khan.
Yes.
And you're pacing out the show.
Yeah. Well, QT Marshall.
All right, QT.
He's actually the one that does the formatting.
Are you putting Punk on anywhere but last, considering what that reaction and the environment and the how that feel is going to be? Come on.
No, because then you get Triple H and Randy Orton going on after The Rock and Hogan.
Right. Unless you got a trick up your sleeve.
And that actually happened because of Triple H. Triple H insisted on going on last. Triple H said, we will outwork them.
Here's what I say. I think if you look at the wrestling match, it was definitely a much better match.
Yeah, it was a better match, but you just weren't getting that crowd reaction out of it.
Who could have predicted it would be that crazy? And two, he had I get the point of the world title. I get that.
Yeah.
And who could have predicted that Hogan and Rock, that would, I'm sure you knew it was going to be electric, but who could have predicted that?
Yeah.
Anyway, go back to Kenny Omega and Christian Cage. Kenny Omega's winning.
Who?
Kenny Omega.
Yeah, because Christian won the other belt, so yes. What, clean or screwy?
It's probably, I would say more clean than not. I could see like a little, a
little callous.
Yeah, a little something distraction, but it's mostly going to be.
But are we getting Bucks and all the goofballs?
I don't think so. I think they're gonna. Because Kenny, I think for the most part, his title wins have been pretty, for the most part.
Yeah, he's been pretty straight.
Yeah. It's when it doesn't matter that he gets the help.
Yeah, that's when all the goofs come out. Knock it the fuck off.
Which, by the way, Brandon Cutler and whatever the fuck.
Knock it the fuck off.
They've been doing a tremendous job in this roles.
As goons, yes. There are excellent goons. Now, does Darby Allin go over? Is CM Punk there to put him over this early?
Absolutely not.
So we're having CM Punk win in the midst of this strong Darby Allin push.
Yes, and I'll tell you why.
Return match?
And you can get to that later, but I think Darby Allin
has to shine in the loss.
Yes, he will, and I think he gets the rub just from being involved. He's going to be in the main event of the biggest pay-per-view of the year with the biggest star in the industry right now. Mm-hmm. That's a rub, no matter how you look at it. And he's probably gonna put up a match where it's like you're gonna buy into him winning. He's gonna come out for this win, lose, or draw better than he came in. I think he'll come out better from losing than he will from winning.
You know what? Because then you have a bigger expectation on him winning.
This is gonna be tight. I'm looking forward to this match.
Word. Oh, also, can we talk about the whole Matt Riddle talking shit about Roman Reigns?
Oh, we'll do that right before we go off. Remind me. Our women's match, Britt Baker versus Chris Statlander. I see a train wreck coming.
Britt Baker wins.
Like it.
Because Chris Statlander is the one that broke her leg.
This match is going to be about 7 minutes. I expect it to be decent. And it's just going to be there to get Britt Baker over and get that heel group over.
Now, that's the weird thing. Was she just babyface because they were in Pittsburgh that week? Or Or do they just flip her twice?
No, it appears for that. I think they do that a lot too, where it's like if you're in the hometown, they're gonna placate.
Yeah, I understand the hometown thing, but I felt like the week before she was also babyface. That's what weirded me out.
You know what I think is weird? I think they did that because they are smart enough to realize that you're not going to be able to stop that. Mm-hmm. You know, and so why fight it? Why not just go with it for at least even if it's just the week? And she never really like left her heelish tendencies. She's just worked on the sell.
Yeah. We got the Bucks versus the Lucha Bros again.
This is going to be amazing.
Steel cage.
Even better.
Who's going off the top of the cage?
Ray Phoenix.
Everybody on top of the cage.
I got the Lucha Bros winning this one.
Yeah, they better win.
I want them to win this one.
Because I'm sick of the Bucks.
I really want them to win.
Taking away my distaste for the Bucks, I've lost interest.
Yeah, but like other than Lucha Bros, there's only really one. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Silver and Reynolds win, but now coming off this latest win, Proud and Powerful would be a good choice. But there's really nobody else that's like primed up and ready to take that spot.
Obviously Miro's going to beat Eddie Kingston.
Hey, listen now.
It's going to be a slugfest. I'm
not completely convinced of that, but I do think Miro's going to win. But I think they're going to set up the rematch for Queens.
Okay.
At Arthur Ashe State. Eddie Kingston's a New York guy.
Yeah, have him win in New York?
Yeah.
Okay.
I could see, but now that begs the question, how do you do the finish? Because they don't really do count out or DQ finishes. So do you have Eddie Kingston lose straight up?
You just do the pass out finish. You have him pass out, not tap out. I didn't lose. I didn't tap out.
Yeah, I'll go with that because that's the only way you can make Eddie Kingston look like that's the only way you can make Eddie Kingston lose, but that's the only way you also can make him talk shit to get his rematch for that because you technically didn't pin him, you didn't really beat him, and he didn't tap out. He just went unconscious. Hell, like the whole thing with Bret and Stone Cold.
Uh-huh. And like you just said, Eddie's gonna come out talking shit. It's like, oh, you're gonna have to kill me to beat me. That's the only way to beat me is to kill me. Something like that. Which I think he's done already, but it works for him. That's his kind of promo. MJF, Chris Jericho again.
I'm still interested, believe it or not. If anything passes, I won't be.
Well, Jericho's going on tour, so this better be the end of it.
But does he lose? Because
I don't know now.
AEW sticks to their stipulations.
I know.
So
he's just gonna win
and then leave? Or does he lose and just they have to find a creative way to get him back involved in a few months?
What, he goes and wrestles in Impact? Because the stipulation is he can't wrestle in AEW. He didn't say he can't wrestle at all. He can't wrestle in AEW. So he's going to do Impact in New Japan?
Hey, man. Shit, why not? The door's open.
I'm still confused why Paul White and QT Marshall is happening.
Bro. What about the most unnecessary heel turn of all time, Billy Gunn? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Why?
Yeah.
Why? I do not need to see Billy Gunn versus The Big Show in 2021.
Come on now. You really don't want to see that? Come on now.
Former tag team partners.
Look. Come on now. Why would you not want to see that? How many times have you seen Goldberg fight people we didn't want to see?
That's true.
I don't want to see that either.
Yeah, nobody wanted to see that, but we got it how many times? Right now, I would take a Billy Gunn and Big Show.
All right, listen.
And I would take a Goldberg versus anybody.
I'll take Billy Gunn and Big Show on Dark. I could live with that.
Yeah.
Because I won't watch it.
Yeah. So Moxley's got his consolation prize since he can't have Tanahashi. He's got Satoshi Kojima.
I'm excited about this. Moxley wins, obviously, but this is going to be I'm interested to see what Kojima looks like in 2021.
Word.
And then we have our women's casino battle royale. I say the surprise entrance is Ruby Soho.
I agree.
It only makes sense.
And I think she wins.
I would say so, yes. Or Jade Cargill.
But does Jade Cargill, do they have her win? Because usually the winner goes after the champ.
Yeah.
And that's another heel versus heel thing, which...
Oh, yeah.
You know? So I'm thinking either Thunder Rosa, because like they her and Britt Baker had that great feud that.
Is she? Wait, is she? Oh yeah, she's in it.
That would be like a good natural, next step for the belt, or somebody like Ruby Soho, who's gonna have a lot of momentum coming in.
You know who seems to have a lot of buzz? Red Velvet.
She botches a little too much for my liking. She's got it though. She's got a lot of potential.
Yeah,
and she has personality.
She has the crowd.
and her botches aren't dangerous though.
The crowd.
Yeah, but they're obvious.
Yeah, because she did that moonsault a couple weeks ago and just landed on the mat.
Right, and did you see the way she dove onto Jamie Hayter? She like dove and then just like like a sack of potatoes just fell down. You're supposed to keep that momentum going.
Yeah.
There was a couple things, and she just you could tell she's like misplaced a little bit.
Yeah.
Like God told her no. What are you doing? And stopped her in mid jump.
But she has something I agree.
100%.
She has something there.
100%. I do think with a little bit of work and some seasoning, she's going to be just fine.
And polishing, seasoning and polishing.
Yeah, I think she's going to be just fine. I like her. I just think like right now is not the time.
Yeah.
I mean, she did well in that Cody Shaq Jade Cardigan.
That's because they
thing.
worked on that match for like 2 months.
Sure, yeah, and but still, like she did her job that night.
Yeah.
And I think, like you said, and she seems comfortable as a character, which is important. Like the moment doesn't seem too big for her.
Right.
It's just she's inexperienced still. She's green as shit.
Alex, what did you want to say? I forgot.
Oh, Matt Riddle and
Yeah, Matt Riddle and Goldberg. Go ahead.
Okay, so what Matt Riddle said was that the Roman had his match. He says, he said legit needle move. Matt Riddle sat down with an interview and says, he says acknowledge me, or I moved the needle. No, you didn't. You're related to The Rock. Shut up. He was like, I'm not impressed. He said, I can beat you in a real fight, so shut your mouth. You're not moving the needle. I'm the real stallion of the RKO Bros, and we're moving the merch. We're moving the needle, and that's it. I don't want to say too much, and I'm not trying to get in trouble. Bro, you already said enough shit to get in trouble at that point.
Yeah, Riddle's growing on me, but he tends to talk a little too much.
I'm a big Riddle guy, but yeah.
He puts his foot in his mouth.
He reminds me of like Steve Cohen of like the Mets ownership. Just always on Twitter and saying the wrong things.
But check this out. Even though he's saying the wrong thing, he got backstage heat. But you know who we don't have heat with? Vince. Because Vince like him like he likes R-Truth.
Yeah.
So Matt Riddle can get away with what he's saying because Vince really likes him. Vince adore him like he adores R-Truth.
But
he damn one of Vince's boys. And once you become something in Vince McMahon's eyes, you could damn near get away with murder. Or you can't look at Jimmy Sniggerfly.
Then you run the risk of becoming Enzo. Vince loved Enzo, but he rubbed a lot of people in the locker room the wrong way. And when it came down time for that whole thing with the trial, even though nothing happened, they said no thank you because you rubbed so many people the wrong way. But
that's the thing about Matt Riddle. He's running people he's rubbing people the wrong way. But he's not rubbing Randy that Vince loved him.
Yeah.
He's not rubbing Vince the wrong way. And he's not rubbing certain people high up in the wrong way. So at the end of the day, people in the back get mad at him, but if your boss tell you got to wrestle Matt Riddle tonight, what are you going to do? Say no?
That's true.
You got to do your job. Like, you have no choice to do your job. Like, you don't like him. You got to do your job. You might hit him with a couple of stiff hits just to get in, but the man's a UFC fighter. He used to getting real hits and non-hits, so it doesn't bother him no one bit, but the man's going to speak his mind. You can't be mad at that. And I just find it funny that he said that about Roman, and Roman hasn't said nothing back about it.
Well, I don't think Roman will. He's too. Honestly, as much as I like Riddle, Roman's on another level. It's like, why would he respond to that?
Why would he not respond to it?
Well, publicly, you don't know if he's going to respond to that privately.
Yeah, but I'm saying general. Why not respond to it at all? You're the tribal chief. You're the badass. You're the man. You're the man that's legitly so-called bringing in the ratings. Why not confront that man? Because at this point right now, you'll beat anybody. You already beat him, stack him, and pin him. Why not just talk the shit to him? Why not get a match and shut him up? Why not do that? Because I would like to see a match between Matt Riddle and Roman Reigns.
Yeah. I've had this list for the top Canadian superstars. I keep forgetting to integrate it into the show. Maybe we'll get to it next week. At least I remember to mention it this week. Maybe we'll actually get into the show next week.
Yeah.
But it's time for us to go.
I'll remind you next week.
It's time for us to go. I have been Darth Messiah, the Dark Side Savior, always and forever, always worst behavior. You, sir?
I'm Alex, the motherfucking Hill, and also follow me on Stereo.
Yes.
I'm acting a fucking fool up there.
Yes. Yeah, I'm actually, kind of free when you're on now, so I pop in. Just Thursday nights and Saturday nights are bad for me because I'm at work. But other than that, yeah, go everybody check out Alex on Stereo. Check out our All Links link. I've upgraded. We have an All Links link. We're getting fancy around here. You can get everything that Ultra Heels do. Instagram, all our various iTunes and Spotify, all the links there. Follow Alex on Stereo. Follow Bravery Studios. All that stuff is all on one link now.
Hey, before we go, I'm thinking about making a TikTok for the Ultra Hills.
Sure.
And talk shit on there about wrestling also.
Sure. Sounds good to me. Just send me the link and I'll add it to the link tree.
I'm about to say, yeah, we might as well go. Look, we're going to go all in. We might as well go all in everywhere.
All right. We out of here. Let's go. Good night, Sal.